What's going on, guys? It's the start of a new day. I got the fittings I need for the fuel filter, so we can technically buckle this thing up and get it running pretty soon here. I gotta look into making the return line, the fuel sending line. I have to button up the boost solenoid and put the serpentine belt back on, mount the oil catch can again, and then I think this thing is ready to go. I do have to get some exhaust work done because, let me flip this around. When I put the V-band clamp on the turbo, it shortened up the exhaust, so I have another V-band clamp that I'm going to put from that side to that side. Obviously, I'm just going to run open down pipe right now until we get that fixed. And yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so I switched out those fittings. These are now 6AN on both sides, so I can now finally finish running this fuel line. Okay, so I measured the fuel feed line to the fuel filter. Right here, I made my AN fitting. I gotta make the one on the top, but I also have to zip tie this up against this rail right here as high as I can so we don't scrape it, because obviously you can see the car's kind of low. But that's gonna go basically right there. And let me see. There we go, that's a better view. So leave it a little bit loose, and then it's gotta come around like that. And it's gotta go up. So let me go on the top side, pull it up. Or matter of fact, I'm gonna add some zip ties real quick so it kind of, I get the length of where I need it, and then at the top I can make my adjustments. All right, so I don't know if you guys can see, I have the fuel feed line going all the way up to the fuel filter, all the way back to the gas tank. Now we just got to run the return line. Here's a view from the top. Fuel feed, ethanol content sensor, down all the way to the fuel filter. Okay, so the return line is ran. Everything is tight on the fuel system now. I have return. This is the return from the fuel rail. I have the feed to ethanol content all the way to the feed down here. It all comes back down here. This is our, let me get that out of the way. This is our return. This is our siphon from the tank. This is our fuel feed. And yeah, over here we have, this goes to my boost gauge, which tees into the fuel pressure regulator, which tees into intake manifold. And then on this side of the intake manifold, we have the vacuum source going all the way to boost sensor over here. On the MAC valve, we have our two wastegate vacuum sources. And then if we come in here, I have to pop this fuse wherever it's at. This fuse goes in right there. And that should be everything. Okay, so I finally have everything put back together. Fuel lines, fuel pressure regulator, vacuum hoses, oil catch can is back on, serpentine belt is back on, intercooler piping is on. I need to find a vacuum nipple for right here, but it always flies off, so I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. Probably get it welded shut. I'm gonna clean this up, tie this back somewhere like that. Mac valve is mounted. I put some cool tape to keep temperatures down on all these wiring harnesses and stuff like that back here from the downpipe and turbo. Fuel lines underneath the car ran. Everything's teed off properly. I want to say that everything's good to finally start this car. I know the battery's completely dead, but the battery's in the trunk now, so we're gonna have to push this out of the garage, take it off the jack stands obviously, hook it up to some jumper cables and try to give it a start. And as you guys can see, I have the fuel lines ran all the way to the back. Everything underneath is all tidy. I rerouted the wiring for the oil pressure along the bottom here so that it has less tension on it from being put all the way up there and all the way around and being close to the downpipe and such. But yeah, it's routed right here underneath the subframe now, closer to the driver's side. And yeah. Okay, so I think she's ready to be dropped off the jack stands, both sides. Take her down, and I'm gonna use Emmy's car to jump start it because the battery is now back here. I had to crawl through the trunk to pop it open since it's dead. Yeah, we got battery right here. So yeah. Our first time out of the garage in months. Wow. Forgot how good this paint looks in the sun. So once we get it started, well, we have to jump start it first, but when we get the ignition turned on, we want to see fuel pressure right here. We want to see about 43 PSI. And the way we can adjust that is, since the computer doesn't control the fuel pressure regulator anymore, we loosen this nut and there's a little Allen key right there. So you basically tighten or loosen the set screw to add or subtract fuel pressure, and we want it right around 43. So that's what we're going to be looking for. Okay, we hooked up the jumper cables to Dad's truck since he's got a bigger alternator.
You got it in gear though, right?
I smell it too.
All right, so we had a little fuel leak. See it right there, coming from this line right here. So we're gonna address that real quick. All right, so we had a loose connection right here. We went ahead, tighten that up. We're gonna go ahead and try again. Hold it.
We'll just put it on the on position so that we can see if there's any other leaks. Pressurized to about 20.
20?
Yeah.
I'm gonna try start the car and then we'll adjust that to 43.
Wait, let's make sure there's no other leaks. Just look into the car. I don't smell fuel like we did before.
I don't see any back here or underneath. So you ready to hear it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is it up right now at 20?
Turn it on, let me see what the PSI is on the gauge. It went up to like 32.
That.
Hopefully it's the fitting, right?
Yeah. I think that's a 19. Let me grab it real quick. But it starts. have to redo that line. Alright. That's not too bad though. out of the driveway, but this is as far as I could get her by myself. I have to take her to the exhaust shop, and I'm afraid I'm gonna wake up my neighbors, but it's all I can really do, so let's start her up and make it quick. Finally made it out of the neighborhood. Still not warmed up, but on the road. Alright, we made it there. Got the car on the lift. Everything looks good underneath. I was gonna use a V-band flange, but we ended up, we're just gonna cut the mid pipe, extend it, and have it just meet up back to the original down pipe, because I don't want to have them take off the V-band just to, you know, have to cut the flange, weld on the V-band. Same thing with the flex pipe. It's just gonna be a whole bunch of extra work for extra money when technically I could have it done in 20 minutes for half the price. So we're just gonna do that. This sounds much better. So that's going to conclude this video. We got some more stuff coming up for the Genesis. However, I just started my move process. I'm up here in Orlando with Emmy's car. We're at Ivan's house. I need to switch out her passenger side control arm because her ball joint went bad. So I'll probably make a video about this, actually, include this clip. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. Give it a thumbs up, comment down below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and let me know how excited you guys are to see that the Genesis is finally running again. My tuner is actually up here in Orlando, so as soon as I get the chance, I'm gonna bring the car back up and we're gonna bring it over to him and get it tuned, see what we can make.